The 2024 season finale down here at Larks Park. Larks taking on the Dodge City A's, and this game is so big. The biggest game of the year. This is the showdown for the Rocky Mountain Baseball League, as the Larks must win tonight to win the title, and this is going to be probably the toughest game of the season.
Yeah, like you were talking about, the A's lead the series this season, but this is an opportunity for the Larks to show that they can finish strong. I mean, they're entering this game on a winning streak. We just saw them sweep the Cougars in the last series using their pitching really well, getting the bats going early, jumping out to an early lead, and just never looking back in those series.
And like you said, I mean, this series has been back and forth. At the beginning of the season, they played 2 non-conference games. games. The Dodge City A's won the first, and then the Larks won the next, and then they went down and played in Hayes, and then they lost one, win one, back and forth. I mean, this is going to be the biggest game of the year. Right now, out of the 5 games, the Dodge City A's have won 3, and conference-wise, the Dodge City A's have won 2 out of 3. What do the Larks have to do right against the A squad who has nothing to lose?
Yeah, I mean, I've only seen one game, which was, I believe, back on June 11th when the Larks faced the A's, and the A's were able to jump out to a 6-run lead in the first 3 innings. So the Larks pitching has to show up early on, and they should do really well. Dalton Campbell's shown that he can be a solid pitcher all year, so he'll be getting the start tonight. And the Larks fans can call me unoriginal, but if that transitions to the batting side of things and the Larks jump out to an early lead, they should get the win again.
And, I mean, the Dodge City A's, they're going to go to the guy in Jake Vassell, who faced off in the win against the Larks down here at home. Jake Vassell, I mean, what do we got on him? Because he's shown that he can do both things, hit with the bat and then also pitch.
Yeah, he started in 4 games this year, so this will be his 5th tonight, where he's pitched in 20 innings, has recorded 19 strikeouts on the year, and has only given up 13 earned runs, and holding his opponents to a 268 average on the year.
Man, this is the biggest game of the year. No understatement here, as the last game of the 2024 regular season down here at Larks Park. Stay tuned for tonight's game. Let's get you guys the starting lineup for tonight's game.
Larks. The Larks enter tonight's game at 27-8 on the season, and at 21-6 are currently tied for first place in the RMBL. Free admission to tonight's game has been made possible through the generous sponsorship of the Ellis County Knights of Columbus Councils and Astra Bank of Hayes. We greatly appreciate these kind folks and their support of Hayes Larks baseball. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here for tonight's ceremonial first pitch, please welcome Steve Shoemaker, representing Ellis County Councils of Knights of Columbus. What do you say? How about a nice round of applause for Steve? And the strike. Our thanks to tonight's game sponsors, Ellis County Councils of the Knights of Columbus and Astra Bank of Hayes. For your Hayes Larks.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Leading off and playing center field from Kansas University, number 8, Caden Ashton. Batting second, playing left field from Wichita State University, number 12, Caleb Duncan. Batting third for the Larks, playing right field from Alabama State, number 26, Wilbert Espanol. Batting fourth for the Larks from the University of Texas at San Antonio, number 22, Garrett Gruel. Batting fifth and catching from Purdue University, number 27, Houston Russell. Batting sixth, playing second base from Ohio State, number 25, Will Carpenter. Batting seventh, tonight's A Street Liquor Beverage batter, the designated hitter from Lamar University, number 2, Trent Baker. Batting eighth, playing third base from the University of Incarnate Word, number 15, Thomas Lissy. Batting ninth for the Larks, the shortstop from Hutchinson Community College, number 6, Tabor Stokes. And tonight on the mound for the Larks from Texas Tech, number 32, Dalton Campbell. And in his 42nd season with the Larks, please welcome the head coach, Mr. Frank Leo. Larks pitching coach, now in his 20th season, is Keith Harper. The Larks assistant coaches are Andy Luton and Ben Timius. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please join us in welcoming Mr. Bob Dreiling as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what but so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the pale light o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave?
Thanks to Mr. Bob Treiling and tonight's national anthem. Thank you, Bob.
The final game of the 2024 baseball season down here in Hays, Kansas. The Larks will finish off the year against the rival team, the Dodge City A's. They're only an hour and a half away. They make the drive down for the last game of the year in a conference battle.
It'll be interesting to see how they approach this game. They lost to Liberal 17-0 2 nights ago, and then last night they tried making a comeback effort but fell 4 runs short. So they would love to play spoiler, I'm sure, but it'll be interesting to see how they approach it.
And Larks, to get the victory tonight, they're going to have to get things going early on, especially because the A's have proven this year that they're going to compete with the Larks. The Rocky Mountain Baseball League showdown starts now. The Larks needing a victory tonight to finish off the year tied with the Liberal BJs as first pitch comes in here at 7:04 start time. 79 degrees. There was some rain earlier today here in Hays around 3 o'clock. Batting practice did not happen on the field as the chopper hit the Thomas list. He fields it off the high hop. Down to first in time. First down the ball game for Dalton Gamble here in the top of the first.
And a good start there for the Larks to get Martin out early on. That's a guy that you want to keep off the base. He's the A's leader in runs with 23 and also leads in stolen bases with 13.
And now that brings up probably the scariest batter in the lineup in Grant Weiserman's. Batting over for the Dodge City A's, Shannon Martin to lead off, who just grounded out. Grant Weiserman's now batting. Nate Murphy batting third. Cleanup batter Isaiah Velasico. Fifth, Tyler McAvoy. 6th, C.D. Sharple. 7th, Matthew Rivers. 8th, Bodalian. And in the 9th spot, number 9, Zach Mora. This ball hit just past Tabor Stokes' reach into left field. First base hit of the ball game coming from Grant Weiserman for the Dodge City A's. Once again, the Larks wait about a week, and they look to Dalton Campbell to get another big victory, coming off of 2 big wins against Liberal, now needing the biggest win of the season against Dodge City. First pitch here to Nate Murphy will find the inside part of the zone. Dalton Campbell 3-0 win and loss record, a 2.94 ERA, making his 8th appearance on the mound and 6th start on the season. He's gone 33 2/3 innings pitched as this one is swung on and missed. Campbell gets ahead 0-2, 32 punch-outs on the year and has an 0-2 count. First base hit of the ballgame come from Grant Wiseman with 1 out. He's over at first base here with 1 away. The 0-2 pitch from Dalton Campbell. This one fouled off over near the Larks dugout. It's Nate Murphy, the third baseman, staying alive. Tonight is must-watch baseball, and the Larks fans knew it. They're already packing the house here tonight as first foul ball goes towards the camera, but all good. The Larks entering today's ballgame 21-6 in conference play. Just a half game behind the BJs, who sit at 22-6. They played their final game on the season yesterday against the Dodge City A's. Pulled away with a victory down in Dodge City. 1-2 line drive into left field. That's going to be a base knock for Nate Murphy. Wiseman will head to second base. 2 base hits here in the top of the first for the Athletics.
And we're seeing a similar start to them that we saw earlier in the season, where they get some guys on early on and just see where it takes them and try to build an early lead.
So I'll bring up the left-handed batter, Isaiah Velasico, the first lefty we've seen in the lineup today. Lefty versus lefty matchup. Forces now at first and second. Middle infield playing a bit in, but playing near the second base bag. First pitch fouled out of play as Campbell gets ahead against Velasico. Defensive lineman for the Larks, Caleb Duncan out in left field, Caden Ashton in center, Robert Espanol in right field. Bringing it up the middle, Tabor Stokes back at shortstop, Will Carpenter over at second base. Hot corners, Thomas Leslie at third, Garrett Rule over first, and tonight's catcher, Houston Russell. Fly ball driven out to center field. Ashton takes a couple steps in, gets under it, and makes the catch for the second out. 2 away now for Tyler McAvoy, the 5th batter here in the inning, and tonight's catcher.
And we'll see if Campbell can shut him down here. He's been one of a kind of a quietly successful batter for Dodge this year with a .299 average and 20 hits, which has resulted in 12 RBIs as he's got a runner in scoring position at second.
Last time these two teams faced off was down in Dodge City. The Larks won game 1, but then lost game 2. The first game they played against them got rained out. Would later have to play it the next day. Played the first one, they finished out. Larks pulled away with the victory, and then game 2, the Dodge City A's ran away with it. It was a close game until late in the ball game, and then the Athletics really sealed the deal in the 8th inning as next pitch from Campbell misses downstairs and into the turf. Russell having to call time as kind of limping a little bit, but he's going to walk out to the mound and talk things over with Dalton. Has 1 ball and 1 strike here against Tyler McAvoy. The last game of the regular season, Russell might have got clipped in the goodies because he just squatted down. That might have clipped him in the no-fun zone. Russell is a warrior, so he'll get back behind the dish and continue the at-bat between Dalton Campbell and Tyler McAvoy. Runners still at first and second, 2 base hits here in the top of the first for the Dodge City A's. Grant Wiseman with a 1-out single, and then a back-to-back hits from Wiseman to Nate Will Carpenter holding the runner on at second here with 2 away. 1-1, hit to the third base. Thomas Leslie just out of his diving reach. That's going to get down for a base hit. The Dodge City A's strike first here in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League showdown as they will take an early 1-0 lead. An RBI double for Tyler McAvoy. 2 runners now in scoring position for the Athletics. So I'll bring up the first baseman for the A's and C.D. Sharples. The Dodge City A's coming into this ballgame 9-17, 10-23 overall. His first pitch misses downstairs to the left-handed batter and C.D. Sharples. A lot of guys on the lineup for the A's appeared in most of the games against the Larks. The newest face on it isn't really anyone, as this is going to be a weird ground ball. Carper fires it over to first in time for the third out. A high chopping ground ball that Carper had to wait for. He'll come down to his glove and fire it to first for the final out. A's take an early 1-0 lead here in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League showdown. The Dodge City A's strike first at the top of the first. 3 base hits for the Athletics, and they take an early 1-0 lead. As Caden Ashton to lead things off, Jake Fassel to the mound for the Dodge City Athletics.
And he's a player that we highlighted in our pregame show, making his 5th start on the year, and he's been very successful, recording 19 strikeouts and only allowing 13 earned runs in the 5 games that he's pitched.
And along with that 2-2 win and loss record and ERA of 5.85. I mean, last time he was on the mound against the Larks was down here in home on June 11th, and he did a solid job against the Larks, and they're looking to him to come up big. 4 innings pitched and a 7-1 victory for the Athletics. Down here June 11th, 4 innings of work, only gave up 1 hit, walked 3 Larks batters, and struck out 3 batters. But no earned runs. Larks are going to have to look to do some damage as the A's have struck first in this one. Next pitch misses outside. Temperature at the moment 79 degrees. 6-mile-per-hour wind blowing out from left field towards home plate. Shows there's a chance of rain, but most of these storms are north of Hayes. Did get clipped earlier today. But should be able to get 9 innings of baseball here in the final game and regular season game of the year. The 3-1 pitch to Caden Ashton, swung on and missed. So I'll move the count to full. Full count pitch coming up here to the leadoff batter, and Caden Ashton coming off a big Denver Cougars series as this ball hits the right side. Second baseman races over, has to hurry the throw, and it's in time for the first out. Ashton almost legs it out. Second baseman threw it hard enough to first to throw out Ashton for the first out for Jake Vassell. So I'll bring up the left fielder and Caleb Duncan. The rest of the batting order after Caleb Duncan goes Wilbert Espanol, Garrett Gruel, cleanup batter, Houston Russell 5th, Will Carpenter 6th, Trent Baker the DH 7th, third baseman and 8th batter in the lineup Thomas Lissy, and in the 9th spot Tabor Stokes, the shortstop.
And Caleb Duncan had a very successful game last night, going 2 for 5, both of which were base hits.
Diving effort from the shortstop goes off of his glove into left field. First base hit for the Larks here in the final regular season game. His 31st hit on the year. And that'll bring up Wilbert Espanol with a tying run now on base.
And looking at how aggressive each team is coming out of the gate, it looks like we're in for a good one for the season or regular season finale.
Yeah, the A's all season have been this weird team. They've shown they can be good at times, and other times they don't. It's like when they play against teams below them, they seem to play worse. When they play against teams above them, they play a lot better. First pitch to Espanol, lefty versus lefty battle, misses outside. Second pitch coming up, Caleb Duncan over at first base after a one-out single. Second pitch runs up high here to Wilbert Espanol. 8 stolen bases for Caleb Duncan as he sits over at first base. (2-0) misses outside. Espanol ahead 3-0. Defensive alignment for the A's. Velasico out in left field. Weiserman out in center. Right fielder and Matthew Rivers. Shortstop Shannon Martin. Second baseman and Zach Mora. As this will miss the zone, ball 4. Back-to-back batters for the Larks will reach base. And the tying run is now in scoring position. An RBI spot for the RBI machine and Garrett Gruel. Finish out the defensive alignment for the Athletics. Hot corners, Nate Murphy at third, and over at first base side, C.D. Sharples. Catching for tonight's game is Tyler McAvoy. Lefty versus righty now. First pitch to Gruel, misses outside. Gruel with a heck of a season. A .425 batting average, a .471 on base, a slugging of .701, and an OPS of 1.172. An amazing season from the third-year man and Garrett Gruel. As the next pitch misses down low, he's ahead in the count 2-0.
And he leads for the Larks in 5 different categories, which are a lot of them the ones you mentioned: average, home runs, RBIs, OPS, and slugging.
2-0 gets away from Vassell, trying to find the command. This is now, I believe, the third batter in a row where 3 balls have come in into the batter's box. Home plate umpire for tonight's game, Doug Clark. Field umpire, Hunter Fitzpatrick. 3-0 to Gruel. He'll swing at this one, pops it up. It stays the infield. Espanol trying to get back to first, staying on the bag. First baseman makes the catch. As that will be the second out. We've seen that happen before at the major league level. It's very awkward. It's a pop-up. Espanol's just trying to get back to the base, but the first baseman has the full right to make the catch on it, and even MLB umpires don't know how to rule that, so I'm glad he made the catch, and Espanol was able to sneak back in time. Otherwise, that could have been a fiasco. But now 2 away for Houston Russell here in the bottom of the first.
And Russell had the night off last night, and we last saw him on Saturday against Denver, where he was able to put up 3 runs and 2 RBIs.
A ball that misses down in the turf. Duncan and Espanol take advantage of it. The tying run now 90 feet away from scoring, and the go-ahead run over at second base. 2 outs, though, for Houston Russell. As you said, he got yesterday's game off. He appeared in Saturday's game and had 2 RBIs. Has a chance to get 2 here with a base knock. The 2-0 misses outside. Once again, a 3-0 count. As McAvoy will call time and go talk things over Jake Vassell. Is there anything you're seeing out there that seems to be messing with Jake Vassell at all?
I think he's just trying to position it a little low, and we do have a new umpire for tonight's game, Doug Clark, which I don't believe we saw him in the Denver series, but he's trying to throw it a little bit low, and he's just unable to find the zone.
So McAvoy will head back to the catcher's spot. Vassell will try to find the zone here with a 3-0 count. And there is no easy out here in the order for the Larks today. This is more likely what we're going to see down the NBC, as this will be ball 4. Bases are now juiced up for Will Carpenter. A big spot for the second baseman, the big second baseman, and Will Carpenter.
And he had a very successful night last night against the Cougars, where he went 3 for 5 with a double and 2 singles and scored a run as well.
And with him scoring a run last night, he has scored a run or has driven in an RBI in his last 8 games. And he has a spot or chance here to drive home a run. This might be the exact guy you want up to bat here with the bases loaded 2 away. The second pitch misses outside. Carpenter ahead in the count 2-0. Second on the team in walks with 20. 2-0 misses outside once again. Another 3-0 count here for the Larks. The 3-0 misses the zone. RBI walk for Will Carpenter will tie it up. Small ball always works for the Larks, and they do it here. RBI base on balls, and we have a tie ball game. And already the coach of the Dodge City Athletics and Dakota Young will head out to the mound to talk things over. And with that, we'll take a short break here on the Larks Network as they tie it up here in the first. Tonight's 8th Street Liquor batter, Trent Baker, to bat here with 2 away. Bases are still loaded for the Larks as they tie things up with an RBI walk. Vassell pitching from the full. He'll finally find the zone for a first pitch strike here against Trent Baker.
And if you're a Larks fan that wants a discounted drink, I'd be getting excited with Trent Baker after the last series against Denver, where he appeared in 2 of the games, getting 3 hits in the first game and 3 last night.
I mean, he's been picking it up so well over the last 2 weeks. I mean, his average has increased by nearly 90 points since 2 weeks ago. As the next pitch misses outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And this is the right time of the year for Baker to really get things going. The NBC just around the corner, and a title game on the line here tonight. As the next pitch swung on and missed, Vassell gets the punch out to leave the bases loaded. As we are through 1 inning of baseball here, and the biggest game of the year for the Larks as they tie things up 1-1. We head to the top of the second. Dalton Campbell back to the mound here in the top of the second. A's had 6 batters come up in the first 3 base hits and 1 run scored. They took the first lead of the ball game, but the Larks respond back, bring up 7 batters up in the first and bringing home 1 run to tie things up. Top of the second, here we go. Matthew Rivers to lead things off. 7, 8, and 9 due up for the Athletics as this ball hit out to right center field. Ashton have to run in for this one. He runs in and makes the catch for the first out. 1 away as they'll bring up the DH and Bo Dalian. First pitch to Dalian, misses outside. Jake Vassell, the left-handed pitcher slash first baseman out of Lake Erie College. It's his sophomore year as ground ball hit in the play. Tabor Stokes fields it cleanly. The running throw in time. Had a run in on it and fired it to first in time for the second out. Back-to-back balls put in play and back-to-back outs made by the Larks defense.
And I've been really impressed just watching the Larks infielders this entire season. We've seen a lot of teams that come to Larks Park when they make those types of plays where they have to run in on it or run back. They throw it a little off target to the first baseman, but the team chemistry for the Larks has grown really well throughout this year, and they've been able to make great plays like that.
I mean, it's like Matt Gortner said yesterday in the interview that he believes the Larks have the best dang defense in the RMBL. He didn't say dang, but that was pretty much what he said. Second pitch, another ground ball hit to Tabor Stokes. Similar play and similar results. 1, 2, 3 for Dalton Campbell here in the top of the second. A 1, 2, 3 for Dalton Campbell, the top of the second, as Thomas Lissy to lead things off. 8, 9, and 1 due up for the Larks.
And we'll see how Vassell approaches this inning. In that last one, you mentioned a bunch of times the Larks were up in the count 3-0. We've seen it through the last few games where they just gotten comfortable, read the pitcher really well, waited patiently, and then swung when they had to.
Second pitch misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Thomas Lissy. Another Lark Barrett's had a heck of a year, an average of almost 400 at 388 entering tonight's game. And with that being said, our awards will be announced during the middle of the 5th inning. Excited to show everyone our winners for this year's outstanding performances. As next pitch finds his own here to Thomas Lissy. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Beard in last night's game at the shortstop position. Tonight back over at third. 2-2 misses inside. Full count pitch. Coming up here to Thomas Lissy. 12 walks and 14 strikeouts on the year for Carpenter. He might not have either, and that's down. Fair ball. Thomas Lissy hustles to second, loses the helmet. The throw in from right field's not in time. A leadoff double for Thomas Lissy, his 9th on the year. The Larks put the go-ahead run in scoring position thanks to the leadoff batter, Thomas Lissy, as they'll bring up another guy who is top 3 in RBIs in Tabor Stokes.
From Hutchinson Community College, the shortstop, number 6, Tabor Stokes.
And he returns to the lineup tonight after having the night off last night. I really want to highlight his first game of that last series against Denver, where he was able to put up four RBIs, and he had that 4-run homer, or grand slam, excuse me.
First pitch to Stokes misses outside. Lissy over at second base. We have seen him try to steal third earlier this season, but let's see if the Larks are going to be a little patient tonight and not take too many risks, as a breaking ball, looks like a curveball, falls into the zone. First strike against Tabor Stokes. 24 RBIs on the year for the shortstop out of Butler Community College. They'll be transferring to Hutchinson Community College. So 1-1 misses downstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike now. Two on, gets under this one, throws it out to center field. Wiresman happen to run in for it, gets under it in time for the first out. 1 away, and that'll bring us back to the top of the order for the Larks and Caden Ashton. Second time through the order today, as first pitch Ashton misses outside. Ground out to the second baseman in his last at-bat, almost ran it out. Second baseman, he was really close to the first baseman, had to throw it a bit harder to get the speedy Ashton out. Second pitch, once again, outside. Ashton gets ahead in the count, 2-0. Leads the team and walks with 25. Back the runner's Vassal, breaking ball pitch, falls into the zone for the first strike. As you said earlier, Ashton coming off a big series against the Denver Cougars. 2 of those games were conference games for the Larks. And in those 2 games, it would have been Friday and Saturday. He went 3 for 7, 4 runs scored, and 2 walks. Ahead in the count, 3-1. Lissy over at second after a leadoff double. 3-1 breaking ball swung on and missed. Vassal does have a beautiful curveball. Seems to be falling right over the heart of the plate. So if the Larks can just time it up perfectly, they can get a hold of it. The full count pitch, Caden Ashton hits to the right side. This time to the first baseman. He'll step on first for the second out. Thomas Lissy advances to third. 2 away. The go-ahead run now 90 feet away. So they'll bring up Caleb Duncan.
And we'll see if he can bring Lissy home after the first at-bat where he singled on the very first pitch.
Caleb Duncan, whose family was in attendance over the weekend, believe they made the trip back home. They got to stop by Larks Park and check out all the festivities, what goes on here in Hays, Kansas, as first pitch of Duncan misses outside. Was the first run of the ball game for the Larks in the bottom of the first. This ball hit to the right side. This ball has a chance to get down in fair territory. It does. RBI base knock for Duncan. That's going to be more than 1. He's routing second. He's going for 3 after the right fielder bobbled it. An RBI 2-out triple for Caleb Duncan. Larks strike again with 2 outs as Caleb Duncan gets his first triple on the season.
And he's off to a hot start so far. Has gotten 2 hits already, and it's only 3 pitches have been thrown to him.
I'll tell you what, walking around the dugout before the game, Caleb Duncan had his AirPods in, and you could tell he was getting locked in, and he's come up big in 2 at-bats already. So I'll bring up Wilbert Espanol, still 2 outs. Fastball pitch from the full now with Duncan over at third. First pitch slider misses outside. Here to Espanol. 99 at-bats on the year. He got walked in his first plate appearance, so it won't go down as an at-bat. This one swung on and missed. Bassel once again just going to the breaking ball very early in the count. Larks is trying to time it up. 1-1. Finds the upper part of the outside corner. Espanol will look to protect. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Larks rocking their red uniforms tonight while the Dodge City A's rocking their yellow uniforms. Espanol will swing and miss at this one, strike 3. But Caleb Duncan, a 2-out RBI triple, puts the Larks on the board for the first time today with the lead. As we head to the top of the third, Larks lead it 2-1. Forever a Hayes Lark. We thank the players, the host families, and all the families that tune into this stream back in their home states. Thank you guys so much for making Larks baseball a thing each and every year. As we're back into action, 2 balls and 1 strike as Dalton Campbell goes back to the mound. Going against the top of the order, though, in Shannon Martin. Martin will throw this one out to right center field. Espanol just over his head. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. Backing him up was Caden Ashton, though. He'll throw it in, but that will be a leadoff double for the top of the order batter in Shannon Martin. So very similar to the Larks in the second. They respond with a leadoff double. Now the tying run is on base for the Athletics. So that'll bring up Grant Weiserman. Campbell looking back the runner. First pitch here to Wiseman, finds the zone. Shout out to our raffle ticket sellers tonight, Luke Terbeek, Felix Brunner, and Gage Gilchrist going around the stand tonight selling tickets, and Matt Gortner. Can't forget good old Mac. It's ground ball hit to Stokes, looks back around second, fires it over to first in time for the first out. A good play by Tabor Stokes as Shannon Martin will remain at second base.
Tabor Stokes was ready for that play after Wiseman had the single in the first inning, which went to the left side of the infield.
Stokes has already had a busy day, especially as of late. The last 2 outs in the second were both ground outs to him, and the first out here in the third was from him. So I'll bring up the third batter in the lineup, and Nate Murphy for the Dodge City A's. First pitch to Murphy, hit and out of play over into the parking lot of Doom. A gray and cloudy day at the ballpark. But Larks Park really brightens up the mood down here in Hays, Kansas on a great type of day. Second pitch to Murphy, misses up high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Last time we saw Dalton Campbell on the mound was July 16th against the Liberal BJs on the road. 6 innings of work for the left-handed pitcher. 5 strikeouts. Got the win as next one hit out of play. Once again, this time into the pool behind us. So Campbell's ahead in the count, 1-2. His last 3 outings on the mound have all been in must-win games. If we look at it, the last time he started at home was July 9th against the BJs in a 13-2 victory for the Larks. 6 innings of work, 2 earned runs allowed, 5 base hits, gave up 2 walks and struck out 5 batters. But that BJs series, they had to try to get at least 1 because they knew things were going to get dicey towards the end. And then they went on the road against Liberal in a must-sweep scenario. They did it, and now they're in a must-win scenario here on the final day of regular season play. That pitch just misses the zone. Full count pitch coming up. Dalton Campbell versus the third baseman and Nate Murphy. Up high, ball 4. Nate Murphy will take over at first now. Double play possibility in effect for the Larks. So I'll bring up the left-handed batter for the A's and Isaiah Velasico. First pitch to Velasico, misses the zone. Houston Russell's going to call time and talk things over with Dalton Campbell. A great crowd here tonight for the final game of the regular season.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to remind you that Larks Park is a non-smoking facility and a non-vaping facility. You'll have to enter the confines of the ballpark if you need to light up. Thanks for your cooperation.
So we'll get back into action. Dalton Campbell versus Isaiah Velasico. 1 ball and no strikes. Velasico making his 20th start on the year for the Athletics. .261 average. This one's fouled out of play. Lots of ones on the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 1 run for the Dodge City A's and 1 run scored in the top of the first, the bottom of the first, and the bottom of the second. 1-1 misses outside. So Velasico gets ahead in the count. 2 balls and 1 strike. The A's, who are 10-23 overall entering tonight's game. The Larks, who come in entering 27-8 overall, as this one misses the outside corner. So we'll have a 3-1 count here to the left fielder tonight in Velasico. Forces that first, second, and third. Stokes and Carpenter near the second base bag. 3-1, cut on and miss. Full count pitch coming up. Camel looks to win the battle. Full count pitch finds the outside part of the zone. Strike 3. First punch out on the day for Dalton Camel. And 2 outs now here in the top of the third. Beautiful framework from Houston Russell. Helps Camel get the punch out. 2 away now. Still the top of the third. First pitch driven out to left center field. This has alleyway written all over it. It will get down. The tying run will come around to score from the A's. The throw in from left field will go to second base, and the go-ahead run will score as well. A 2 RBI double for Tyler McAvoy. And just like that, the Athletics have taken a 3-2 lead.
And we're only 3 innings into this game, but Tyler McAvoy has been a key player for Dodge tonight. That's now 2 doubles, and that's now 3 RBIs as well.
And that's now 3 lead changes. A's took the lead in the first. The Larks tied it up and then took the lead in the bottom of the second. And now the A's have taken the lead once again. We knew this one was going to be a battle. It doesn't matter about the records. For some reason, the Larks and the A's every year always put on great games against each other. It's a second pitch from Camel here to C.D. Sharples, misses outside. Two-0 pitch finds the upper part of the outside corner. First strike here against C.D. Sharples, tonight's first baseman. This ball hit to the shortstop Stokes. Off the hop, fires to first in time for the third out. But with 2 outs once again, the Dodge City A's this time will take the lead after a 2 RBI double from Tyler McAvoy. We head to the bottom of the third. Larks trail by 1. The team leader in averaging, Garrett Gruel, to lead things off here in the bottom of the third. The Dodge City A's retake the lead. The third lead change so far in tonight's game. The Athletics take a 3-2 lead thanks to a 2 RBI double from Tyler McAvoy. His first pitch to Garrett Gruel runs inside.
if the Larks start to pick things up a little bit. It's kind of a similar start to what we saw last night, where they just put up 1 run in each inning that they scored.
So I'll say he went around, 1 ball and 1 strike now. Gruhl, who enters tonight's game on a 15-game on-base streak in conference play. So next pitch misses down low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Has been a phenomenal player all season. The most dominant bat this year for the Larks, as the 2-1 swung on and hit over to Andy Loon, tonight's third base coach in Andy Loon, first base coach in Ben Tienes. Two-two count here to Garrett Gruhl, tonight's first baseman. Looks to protect with 2 strikes, and he will. This one right to our camera. Not that bad. We might still have you go look at or adjust a little bit, but that's not bad at all. Ace is not too upset yet.
Can guarantee the Larks fans he's not going to miss this once we go into the offseason.
Yeah. 2-2 misses outside. Full count now here to Garrett Gruhl. Driven out to left field, a high fly ball, but over to the Larks batting cage. Off the fence, actually, past the batting cage. That ball was driven. I tell you what, going to his senior season, he's going to go to UTSA. They got something great in Garrett Gruhl, and I'm excited to see what he can do for a D1 school in UTSA. As tonight, he'll swing and miss at that one. Strike 3, back-to-back Ks for Jake Vassell going back to last inning. 1 out now for Houston Russell.
The catcher, number 27, Houston Russell.
First pitch to Houston Russell finds the outside corner. Worked out a walk against Vassell last time. Made his way to second base, but was stranded when the bases were loaded to end the first inning. 0-1 breaking ball gets away from the catcher down the turf. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Dodge City A's head coaching staff goes Dakota Young, head coach, assistant coach Chris Isaacs, and the other assistant coach in Ryan Spear. The Larks, who are led by Kansas Baseball Hall of Fame coach in Frank Leo, pitching coach Keith Harper, assistant coach Andy Luton, and the other assistant coach in Ben Tienes. 2-1 misses outside. Houston Russell had 3 balls and 1 strike. Russell will use his time call. Three-one breaking ball misses inside, ball 4. Tying run now on base for the Larks here in the third. And the man who tied it last time with the bases loaded RBI walk, and Will Carpenter will come up to bat.
Second baseman, number 25, Will Carpenter.
And since we were talking about head coaches, I mean, Frank Leo, you got to give it to him. 42 years being the head coach for the Larks, and he continues to just dominate every year. Has to get a new group of guys every year, put together a good roster, and another year of great Larks baseball.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in the business of coaching for so long that he knows what to look for. He's very good at finding all these young guys, especially we've seen a lot of community college guys, which a lot of people would overlook, you know, because some people think just get a bunch of D1 players to the summer league and you're going to win the NBC World Series. But Coach Leo does a really great job of finding those young guys and developing in the offseason, and a lot of them are able to make the jump to the next level.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is, yes, it's summer ball, but you get a chance to play under head coach Frank Leo. Frank is well known around the baseball world. I mean, top-tier guys have come through the Larks organization, so it really helps these young guys out and getting their name out there. As Carpenter will get her this one, throw it to right field, right to the right fielder, Matthew Rivers, for the second out. 2 away for Trent Baker, tonight's 8th Street Liquor batter, and the DH. Trying to get Frank Leo's baseball card pulled up so we can get some more info on him, because he's got a lot of accolades in his career. Coached at Hayes High Indians for 39 years, 18 WAC titles, 12 state tournaments, has 10 Jayhawk League titles, which is another league inside the NBC. As Baker will throw this one, a high fly ball out to right field, near foul ground though. He'll just get down and foul. Shout out to our IT guy who's here tonight. Made his way down to the ballpark as he joins us for the last game of the season. Good to see you. Not quite sure what happened, but everyone just got really excited.
I don't know what happened either. I was writing down in my book and updating it.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what just went down. But anyway, CJ Reed's the pinch runner over at first for Houston Russell. Back on Frank Leo's success, 10 Jayhawk League titles, 6 NBC MW region titles, 30 appearances in the NBC World Series. Not the World Series, but in the NBC World Series tournament, that is. 21 top 10 finishes, 6 runner-up finishes. Was inducted into the 2006 Kansas Baseball Hall of Fame. Was the 2015 National Baseball Congress Hall of Fame. Kansas Association of Baseball Coaches Hall of Fame class of 2022. 3 Rocky Mountain Baseball League titles. I mean, he's had an outstanding career and another great year of Larks baseball. Two balls and 1 strike here to Trent Baker. Tying run over at first. 2-1, gets under this one, throws in fair play, though, out to center field. Center field had to race back for it. This ball has a chance, and it's going to get down and off the wall. The tying run in CJ Reed is going to come around to score. An RBI triple for Trent Baker with 2 outs. Ties things up. Already, game of the year. This one has been absolutely insane. Trent Baker now 3 triples in the last 4 days.
And he adds another RBI to the year for him, and that's now his 14th RBI of the year. And best of all, for most Larks fans, they get discounted drinks.
As everyone is on their way to the Larks nest right now, as Thomas Lissy up to bat. First pitch, breaking ball finds the zone. Came around to score last time, a lead-off double for the Larks back in the second inning. Gave the Larks their first lead today, and this ball is hit out to right field. Rivers going back on it. It's going to get over his head and off the wall. Thomas Lissy has extra bases once again, and the Larks have taken lead. He's going to try to go for 3. The throw from the second baseman to third is in time, but Thomas Lissy gives the Larks a 4-3 lead. The Larks retake the lead in the bottom of the third. An RBI tying triple from Trent Baker, and then an RBI double from Thomas Lissy puts the Larks back on top, 4-3. It's Matthew Rivers to lead things off for the Dodge City A's. Dalton Campbell back to the mound, 2-0 count. Here's tonight's right fielder and Matthew Rivers. Big swing and a miss from Matthew. Rivers is not listed on the program, but I do believe off my memory he is from Australia. A big right fielder. I believe I talked with the PA guy, and he was weighing around 240 or 250. An absolute tank. He could hit bombs and stuff all season. That's what the A's announcer was talking about. So 2-2. Misses the zone. Full count pitch now. Dalton Campbell versus Matthew Rivers. Four lead changes already in this one, as tying run will get on base for the Athletics after a leadoff walk from Matthew Rivers. Seven, 8, and 9 are due up for the Athletics here in the fourth. Bo Dalian now batting, with Rivers over at first base. First pitch to Bo Dalian finds the zone. The 0-1 foul back and above the camera netting, as it looks like we're all good up here. So Campbell gets ahead in the count. 0-2. Lights are now on here at Larks Park. Had a 6 o'clock game yesterday. Have a 7 o'clock game tonight, as next pitch misses way outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. 33 strikeouts for Campbell on the year. Ahead 1-2. Fly ball, but out of play. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Second strikeout for Dalton Campbell, and the first out here in the top of the fourth. Double play now could end the fourth inning, as Matthew Rivers still over at first base, and the 9-hole batter and Zach Mora up.
And he had the ground out to Tabor Stokes on an 0-1 count for the final out of the second inning, so we'll see what he does here.
And ground ball hit to Carpenter. Will step on second himself. No throw to first, as kind of bobbled it a little bit, but was able to corral it together and step on the bag for the second out. Gets the lead runner out. 2 away now here in the fourth. Top of the order for the third time today for the Athletics and Shannon Martin.
1 for 2 days so far for him. On a 1-0 count, he grounded out to the third baseman, Thomas Lissy, in the first inning, and then in the third inning, got a double on a 3-1 count.
5 hits on the day for the Athletics. Scored in every inning besides the top of the second. Larks have scored in every inning so far. This game has been exactly what we thought it would be, a neck-and-neck battle. Did not expect it to be this back and forth, though. Already 4 lead changes in this ball game. Kimmel comes set, looks back to the runner first. The 1-1 pitch misses up high. Russell tries to pump fake it, but drops the ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Force at first and second. Here we're 2 away. On the move to second base. The throw down from Russell. The throw's in time. The tag is in time as well. Houston Russell catches Zach Morris stealing for the final out here in the top of the 4th. Dalton Kimmel blanks the Athletics in the 4th inning. As Tabor Stokes to lead things off. The 9-hole batter, top of the order due up next. Ground ball, first pitch, put into play. Third baseman corrals it in and fires it over to first in time for the first out. Nice play by the third baseman and Nate Murphy for the first out here in the bottom of the 4th. That'll bring us back to the top of the order in Caden Ashton. Jake Vassell still on the mound for the A's, heading here into the 4th inning. First pitch finds the outside corner. Ashton's put the ball in play in every at-bat so far. Looking to find a hole.
And the infielders on the right side are in high alert as both of those have been ground balls to that side.
As our game scoreboard at the ballpark right now, it went frozen. We're trying to help Ace get it fixed right now. Third pitch misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Ashton slaps this one the opposite side over towards left field near the fair territory, but gets in foul territory. Nice feast first slide from the left fielder, but foul ball gets down to play. And Ashton will come back to the batter's box. All evened up, 2 balls and 2 strikes here to the center fielder and Caden Ashton. He's gone a hit in his last 3 games in conference play. He's also gotten 3 walks in 3 games straight, along with 3 runs scored in 3 games straight. 2-2 runs inside. Good take by Caden. Full count. Nobody on, 1 out. Top of the order, Caden Ashton.
And he's been very patient tonight, waiting for the right pitch to swing at, as that's now his third full count that he's been faced with tonight.
Another one hits the opposite field side from the left-hand batter, Caden Ashton, but right to the left fielder in Isaiah Velasico for the second out.
And that's now 80 pitches thrown on the night for Jake Vassell, and you got to wonder how far they're going to want to go with him tonight, as they don't want to take risks that could possibly put them in a bad position.
The 2 batters up for the Larks and 2 outs for the Athletics. As Caleb Duncan, we'll see what he can do. Back-to-back base hits and back-to-back at-bats for Caleb Duncan. A single in the first came around to score the first run of the game for the Larks. And then an RBI triple in the second to give them their first lead of the game. Duncan rips this one, but over in foul territory over on the third base side. That's where Duncan gets past the catcher into the backstop. The 1-2 hits the right side. First baseman takes him to the ground. Will fire into the first. Duncan slides in safely. A race to the bag, as we'll give Caleb Duncan a base hit for that one. As that was going to be a bang-bang play no matter what, and Duncan gets his third base hit on the day.
He just did a great job at placing that one, as Sharples really had to pretty much go away from first base and dive to make the play. So a lot of credit to Duncan to run it out and slide in to make the play.
Two away for Wilbert Espanol here in the bottom of the fourth. Tabor Stokes led things off here in the fourth. The ground out. Ashton flew out to left field. A 2-out base hit for Caleb Duncan as Wilbert Espanol looks to get some insurance runs for the Larks. First pitch misses outside. Reached base in his first play appearance with a walk. 15 walks on the season. Duncan on the move the second. Pitch was high, the throw down, not in time. 9 stolen bases for Caleb Duncan, as he is now in scoring position with 2 away, and a lot of the Larks' runs today have come with 2 outs. Actually, all the runs today from the Larks have come with 2 outs. So maybe the Larks can strike again. They've scored in every bottom part of the inning so far. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and 2 in the third. Espanol ahead 3-0. Found the zone. 3 balls and 1 strike. Here to Wilbert Espanol. Now has 100 at-bats on the season after his first one today. This one is swung on and missed. Full count pitch coming up. 2 away. Caleb Duncan over at second base. Lefty versus lefty. Jake Vassell versus Wilbert Espanol. High fly ball to deep right field. This ball is gone. Wilbert Espanol, full count, 2-out home run. And the Larks have extended their lead 6-3. The Larks are wanting to win the RMBL title, and it's showing here tonight as Espanol leaves the yard 6-3, Hayes Larks. Caleb Duncan fired up with Keith Harper as he gets off his lawn chair and comes over to Caleb and gets pumped up. I think we got it on camera. Great stuff. 6 runs with 2 outs from the Larks. They are having themselves a heck of a day. Already in the bottom of the 4th, the bats are going as they'll bring up Garrett Gruel now with 2 away. Espanol, 2nd home run on the season. Another guy who's just had an outstanding season. Espanol and Gruel, both guys that are in the nominee category for MVP. We'll find out during the middle of the 5th inning, this year's 2024 Larks season award winners, as this ball fouled back. Netting is kind of in the way. We'll get that fixed during the half-inning break. The 1-1 to Gruel, hit out there part of the bat, right back to Vessel. Run over, underhand toss it to first for the final out. But Wilbert Espanol leaves the yard in the final regular season game of the 2024 season. Larks lead it 6-3. To the top of the 5th we go. Larks tack on another 2 runs as they lead it 6-3 down here at Larks Park. First pitch from Dalton Campbell back to the mound once again here against the Dodge City A's. His stat line today has been almost identical to every inning so far. The first inning he faced off against the first 6 batters, and then would later go on to the second inning. He faced off against only 3 batters in 7, 8, 9. Third inning, same thing as the first. Went through 6 batters, and then went to the 4th inning and only faced off against 7, 8, 9. One, two, here to Shannon Martin, misses down low. Next pitch fouled into the A's dugout. Almost got someone. Thought we were at a track meet there. It looked like he was trying to jump over a hurdle. That ball was right at, I believe that's Matthew Rivers.
It is.
As that ball almost got him. He's got hops for a big guy. That was pretty impressive. And going around on it, strike 3. Third strikeout for Dalton Campbell. As Shannon Martin will go down and back to the dugout for the first out here in the top of the 5th. Top of the order due up for the A's as I'll bring up the second batter in the lineup, and Grant Weiserman.
And he's 1 for 2 on the day so far. Singled on a 1-0 count in the first inning and then grounded out to Tabor Stokes at shortstop in the third inning.
First pitch to Weiserman, swung on and missed. Weiserman has been the guy all season for the Athletics. I mean, every time we go down and watch, he's always given the Larks a good fight. As next pitch swung on and missed. 0-2 count. Leads the team in batting average at .386. Has the most at-bats on the team as well with 101. The 0-2. Breaking ball from Campbell misses downstairs. Had a single back in the first, and that was his 40th hit on the season for the A's. So another breaking ball just misses the zone. Larks fans really won that call. Just a bit high, though, to Weiserman's. So we're all evened up now. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 away, nobody on base here in the top of the 5th. And this one will find the zone, no doubt about it. Back-to-back Ks for Dalton Campbell. And 2 quick outs here in the top of the 5th. One out away from going to the middle of the 5th, where we will announce our 2024 Hayes Larks Season Award winners. We'll have to face off against Nate Murphy, though. First pitch, slider, finds the zone for Dalton Campbell. A's scored 1 run in the first, none in the second. And this ball hit down the third base line. They're going to say foul ball. Campbell gets ahead 0-2. Third inning, the A's tacked on 2 runs. Fourth inning did not tack on any. Now I look at the stats. All the runs scored today from both the A's and the Larks have all been with 2 outs. This has been a suspenseful game already, and we're not even at the halfway mark. As now we are. Strike out the side in order, Dalton Campbell. 3 punch outs here in the 5th. 1, 2, 3 go the Athletics. So we head to our 2024 Hayes Larks Season Awards. There you have it, our 2024 Hayes Larks Season Award winners. We like to give out 2 other awards as well. These are Fans Award to our Live Fan of the Year Award and Dion Newberger for always getting us food. Ace's dad always takes care of us up in the press box. And our Stream Fan Award goes to Crystal Goss. Tunes in to every game. Always comments us down in the live chat. Appreciate Crystal for tuning in to all Larks games. As first pitch to Houston Russell finds the zone. Biggest game of the year for the Larks. And it's been a heck of a ride already here tonight. Second pitch to Houston. Misses down below the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Houston, who wins the Silver Slugger Award and a Gold Glove, being an outstanding catcher behind the dish. Amazing season for Houston Russell. Finished in the top 5 category for the MVP voting. It's 2 balls and 1 strike now. Here to Houston Russell. New pitcher into the ball game for the Athletics, the right-handed arm out of Notre Dame College, sophomore Garrett Odie. As Houston Russell hits a ground ball over to Shannon Martin, fires to first in time for the first out.
And Odie's been one of their top relief pitchers this year, as this is his 8th game of the year where he's pitched in 12 innings, and he's been pretty successful, only allowing 16 hits and 8 earned runs, and has recorded 10 strikeouts on the year as well.
So I'll bring up Will Carpenter, the second baseman. RBI walk back in the first. And a fly out to right, and his most recent at-bat, first at-bat against Odie. Right-handed arm, second pitch. Carpenter rips this one over the head of the second baseman into right field. 1 out base knock for Will Carpenter, his 25th hit on the season. So the Larks look to strike again. They've scored a run in every half inning so far. And now bring up the DH and the 8th Street Liquor batter in Trent Baker. RBI tripled his last at-bat, leads the team in triples with 4 on the year. Brought home his 14th RBI and came around to score for his 20th time this season. He's now played 2 full seasons with the Larks. And Trent, we definitely know he loves the Larks fan base here, as he'll swing and miss at this one. 0-2 the count. Here to Trent Baker. Vassell, who started the game off for the A's, tried to limit the damage, but the Larks were always able to tack on and run in each inning against him. So they look to go to a right-handed arm to see if they can slow down the Larks' bats, as this one's fouled and out of play. Bounces into the parking lot of doom. Carpenter over at first, takes a good lead. The 0-2 to Trent, leaves it off, good take. Trent, who will be transferring from Houston Christian University over to Lamar University, play for his junior year down at Lamar. 1-2. Little ground ball hitting the play. Third baseman will go to second with it. Gets the lead runner, but that's all they'll get. So Will Carpenter gets thrown out at second for the second out, and Baker will take over at first after the fielder's choice from the third baseman and Nate Murphy. Two away for Thomas Lissy.
And Lissy, another player having a great night so far, has had the double to lead off the second inning where he would eventually get home for his first run of the game, and then had that double at the end of the third inning where he tried to go to third.
Ground ball hit right to the first baseman. Step on the bag yourself and CD Sharples. That will end the 5th inning. We head to the 6th. The Larks lead this one by 3. There's more than likely your final standings for this year. The only difference is the Larks can get a win tonight. They would win the Rocky Mountain Baseball League title as they beat the BJs in 3 out of 4 games. A must-win game tonight for the Larks. Other than tonight's game, there's only one other game going on at the moment that started at 6:35. That was the Fort Collins Foxes at Western Nebraska Pioneers. Tonight is the final day for Rocky Mountain Baseball as new pitcher onto the mound for the Larks in Nolan Wilson.
And in league play, this is the first time we're seeing Nolan Wilson come in as a relief, as he started in all 5 games that he's appeared in. And he's done really well. The team leader in strikeouts coming into today's game with 34 and has held his opponents to a .216 average.
Second pitch on the day from Nolan, misses the zone. 2 balls and no strikes. Both sides changing it up on the pitching department. Gamble, who struck out the side in order to end the 5th. A solid day. The A's got to him in the first and third a bit, but he limited the damage and allowed the Larks bats to back him up, and the Larks up 6-3. The 3-0 pitch here to Isaiah Velasico will find the outside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike. We take a look at yesterday's ball games. The Larks, who beat the Cougars in a non-league game, final score is 6-2. As the 3-1 called a strike, and Velasico not happy. He struck out looking his last at-bat. That last at-bat, he wasn't happy about the strike 3 call, so he's not too happy about that one. But the full count pitch from Nolan Wilson here to Velasico. Ground ball put in play. Will Carper takes a step back, fields it cleanly, and fires it to first in time. First out on the day for Nolan Wilson out of the bullpen. So Larks, they played yesterday. The Foxes and the Pioneers played as well yesterday. Pioneers came away with a 6-2 victory over the Fort Collins Foxes. And then the Liberal BJs played their last conference game of the year against the Dodge City A's. Final score 12-8 down in Liberal. 1 out now for Tyler McAvoy, who's had a good day at the plate. All runs have been driven in from McAvoy. Second pitch swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hank, this being your first year joining the Larks family, what do you guys say about this whole experience joining the Larks program?
All I can say is that it's been amazing. I mean, we've gotten to watch great baseball all year. Larks have been successful once again, and I'm just going to leave it there. And also thank you to the Larks organization for allowing me to do this broadcasting with you guys.
It was a pleasure to have you alongside me this year, as the end of the season is basically tonight. As down for the NBC World Series, they will have their own people do the live streams and such. We will have a radio broadcaster from Hayes go down, so there will be someone on the radio. But if you want the live stream of the game, believe you have to go to the NBC homepage. There should be a YouTube link, or you can just look up NBC World Series on YouTube. You should be able to find it from there. As a base hit in the right field from Tyler McAvoy, his 3rd base hit on the day. So runner will get on for the Athletics here in the 6th against Nolan Wilson.
And throughout this game, McAvoy's been the player that's been keeping the A's in this game. He's batted in all the runs, has gotten 2 doubles and now a single.
Double play possibility in effect for the Larks as they'll bring up C.D. Sharples, the first baseman for the Athletics. Thomas Lissy moves over to his left with the left-hand batter up. Ground ball hit to Stokes, a short ground ball. He'll only have one play and fires it over to first for the second out. McAvoy will take over at second base after the fielder's choice from Tabor Stokes. Two away for Matthew Rivers here in the 6th. As now we'll have a pinch runner come into the ball game. Looks like number 4, and Dominic Roberts come in to pinch run for the catcher and Tyler McAvoy. Surprising didn't come out when he was at first, but he's now on the bases now. Here in scoring position for Matthew Rivers. First pitch to Rivers, swung on and missed. Wilson, who pitched at Houston Christian University, will be transferring over to the University of Cumberland in Kentucky. Next pitch to Rivers, fouled off of Russell. This one caught a clip of him. So umpire will walk the ball back to the mound and waste some time for Houston. It's twice today a foul ball has clipped him. So Russell is all good. Umpire and Doug Clark will go back behind him. 0-2 pitch coming up. Nolan Wilson versus Matthew Rivers. 2 away, runner at second base, and McAvoy. Wilson looks in for the sign, comes set. Fires in the 0-2. Popped up, will stay in the infield. Gruel will run in just a tiny bit and finds it into his glove for the final out in the top of the 6th. Athletics have 4 batters come up. 1 reaches base, but no runs come around to score. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Larks lead this one by 3. Tabor Stokes will lead things off for his second time today. Led things off in the 4th and will lead things off again here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch to Stokes, misses inside. Garrett Odie back to the mound for the A's. Had a defensive change in between the innings. Preston Center moves out into the outfield as Stokes will pop this one up. Stays in play, but it's going to go off the netting for a foul ball. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Tabor Stokes. Has officially started in all conference games this year. From day one, they knew Tabor was going to be the shortstop, and he's been the shortstop all season long, playing in all conference games, all 28 of them. .290 average on the year for Tabor, .385 on base with an .804 OPS. The 1-1 finds the zone right down Broadway. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Tabor. One-two hit to the right side, but out of play into the parking lot of Doom. 1-2 count here to Tabor Stokes. Let's put the ball in play in both at-bats today. Coming into this game with a 4-game hitting streak. 1-2, left up high. All even up now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Played for Butler Community College this year, will be transferring over to Hudson Community College alongside his Larks and Butler teammate in C.J. Reed. Two, another one hit out of play, this time into the pool behind us. Stokes staying alive. Odie taking his time on the mound. The 2-2 once again outside. Leadoff batter here in the 6th works the count to full. Full count pitch, another one out of play. Stokes battling it up. Shout out to our ball boys for tonight's game. Stokes just hit 3 out of the ballpark, so he had to go hustle down and get the umpire some more balls. Full count pitch here to the shortstop and the freshman out of Mustang, Oklahoma. Full count, runs inside of Stokes and clips him. Looks like got him in the elbow guard. Stokes says he's all good. He'll head down to first. The leadoff batter here in the 6th for the Larks will reach base. Back to the top of the order we go, and Caden Ashton here with the runner at first now in Tabor Stokes. Been a quick ball game up to this point, an hour and 45 into this one, and we're already in the bottom of the 6th. On the move to second is Stokes. After the hit by pitch, he's trying to swipe second, and he will. This ball will get into center field. Stokes is going to race towards third as he will take over at third base. The shortstop got clipped on the slide. It was a head-first slide. Might have been a head-first collision, but Martin is down on the ground. Stokes will take over at third base after the stolen base and throwing error from the catcher. This Larks trainer runs out onto the field to go check on Shannon Martin. As with that, we will take a short break here on the Larks Network after an injury. So Shannon Martin will come out of the ball game. It actually looked like it was a wrist injury. Looked like he was holding on to his left wrist. He will exit the ball game. Zach Moore will take over at shortstop here in the 6th. No outs. Tabor Stokes in scoring position for Caden Ashton. So second pitch misses down low. 2 balls and no strikes. Not fun stuff. I mean, you make it all the way to the season, the last game, and just get hurt. I hope Shannon Martin turns out all right, as the next pitch to Ashton's fouled out of play. First strike here between Odie and Caden Ashton. Two-one, pitching from the full with the runner over at third. This is another one hit over into the Larks bullpen. Few arms out at the bullpen right now. None of them were throwing. They're all getting stretched out. Garrett Hicks is the one tracking the ball down. The other two unable to pick him out. 2-2 pitch coming up here to Caden Ashton. Outside and calls strike 3. First out here in the 6th is the first punch out on the day for Garrett Odie. One out now for Caleb Duncan. Here with the runner still at third.
And we'll see if Duncan can continue his ways tonight, as he's gotten 3 hits so far, 2 singles and a triple, which have resulted in 2 runs and an RBI.
Came around to score for a second time today in his third at-bat. That was his 30th run scored on the season. Another milestone for the Stars player and Caleb Duncan. Gold Glove Award winner and a Silver Slugger Award winner. He was also in the top 5 for MVP candidates. Joined about halfway through the month of June, has been a star player for the Larks. Brings this great energy to the ball club. I mean, we saw it when he came around to score after Espanol's 2-run home run. Him and Keith Harper getting hyped up over by the dugout. Finds himself in an 0-2 count. Ball in play, will score a run. Already has 1 RBI on the day. This ball hit down the right side, but over into the Athletic bullpen. The 0-2 once again to Caleb, putting the play to the third baseman, and Murphy will throw it down to first. An RBI ground out for Caleb Duncan. Tacks on another run for the Larks. 7-3 the score down here in Hayes. Just doing the job. Put the ball in play and bring home a run. So nobody on base now with 2 away for Wilbert Espanol.
We'll see if he can keep the inning going after his last at-bat where he had that 2-run homer on a full count.
An absolute bomb off the bat of Wilbert Espanol. That home run was out towards right center field, and Espanol knew off the bat. He looked up at it and just waited as this ball go off of the second baseman's foot into right field. A 2-out base runner comes on for the Larks after the E4. Second error on the day for the Athletics, as that will bring up the cleanup batter here with 2 away, and Garrett Gruhl. That RBI ground out from Caleb Duncan was the first time today a run came around to score without 2 outs. Let's see if the Larks can possibly bring home some more here with 2 away and a runner over at first in Espanol. He's on the move to second. The throw down is in time and on the money. A good throw from Tyler McAvoy to catch Espanol stealing. That will be the 3rd out, but the Larks put another run on the board here in the 6th as they lead this one 7-3. Top of the 7th, Nolan Wilson, the right-handed arm for the Larks, back to the mound. So the Larks tack on a run in the 6th inning. Thanks to Tabor Stokes, got hit by a pitch, made his way to third base, and then an RBI ground out from Caleb Duncan. Larks now lead it by 4. They're now 9 outs away from this regular season coming to a close and becoming the RMBL title. As second pitch swung on and missed, the batter and Bo Dalian, the DH. The 1-1 hit over to the Larks dugout and off the fence. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wilson, one of the best strike throwers on the team for the Larks, so really has great command. 1-2 count from the full here to Bo Dalian. Misses down in the turf. Goes to the backstop. So we all even up now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch. Ball put into center field. Caden Ashton doesn't have to move too much and gets under it for the 1st out here in the top of the 7th. He's now sat down the last 3 batters he's faced, and that'll bring us to the 9-hole batter. And Zach Mora, who took over at shortstop. Dominic Roberts, now the second baseman, he's up at the top of the order. His first pitch will hit Zach Mora. So the A's will get a base runner on here in the 7th after the hit by pitch to Zach Mora. Top of the batting order, and correction, the new second baseman, Eric Mendoza, the high school senior, uncommitted right now or at least what we have in our programs at least. He will take over in the lineup here in the final game of the regular season for the Dodge City A's. First pitch misses down in the turf. Russell keeps it close to him, though. As Moore remains at first base. With the NBC World Series coming up, I'm not sure if you've looked at any of the teams so far, but I do believe the Kansas Cannons are part of our pool play, and that is a very interesting couple of games to me. I mean, the Cannons, they went down to Augusta, Kansas, and the Larks, I mean, they really didn't give much hope. It was an absolute run rule. As this ball hit in right field, just past Will Carpenter. A base hit will come here for the new batter in the game, and Eric Mendoza. Runners are now at first and second here in the seventh. We'll need to get one more runner on to get the base loaded, which would bring the tying run up to bat. But the Athletics looking to try to tack back into this one. But, I mean, that Cannons game, it does interest me because in the second game, they came down to Hayes, and it was a complete opposite. I mean, they kind of took care of the Larks, and it makes you wonder what's going to happen.
Yeah, especially if I'm remembering correctly, it's a team that the Larks have been used to for a long period of time because the Larks are former Jayhawk League members, so it'll be interesting to see. And I believe, if I'm remembering the schedule off the top of my head, it's the Larks' second pool play game.
Well, lucky for you, I got it pulled up right here. Let's check it out. There's our upcoming schedule, and it looks like that will be the Sunday game at 12 o'clock start time. We'll show that graphic more later if you guys need to take a picture of it or whatever you need. We'll show that around the 8th inning. A 1 count here to Grant Weisermans. Next pitch misses inside. Another team that's in the pool play for the Larks, the Lone Star Baseball Club. If I don't remember, I think I'm remembering correctly. I believe they were in the same pool play last year, and I believe the Larks pulled away with a victory against them. As this ball fouled back in, our camera just got a little dinked up. Ace punches the table in frustration. A big shout out to Ace for being our camera guy throughout the year here at the home games. So we'll see if we get you guys the press box camera for now until we get that fixed. This ground ball put into play. Second baseman Will Carpenter will go to second with it. On the first, a running throw from Tabor Stokes. Runs through the bag and throws it to first base for the double play. A beautiful 4-6-3 double play to end the top of the seventh. We have to the seventh inning stretch. heart of the order due up for the Larks here in the bottom of the 7th. Garrett Gruel, Houston Russell, and Will Carpenter, 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Larks. Garrett Odie, the right-handed arm for the Athletics, back to the mound here in the bottom of the 7th. As Garrett Gruel make his 4th at-bat on the day, his first time against Odie. First pitch put into play out towards shallow center field. The second baseman trying to find it as he'll make the play himself. Right fielder looked like he might want to call him off, but the second baseman makes the play for the first out. 1 away as Houston Russell will come up to bat. It's his second time against Garrett Odie.
And Russell's gotten on base 2 times today, both of which have been walks, and he's been able to score 1 run in the 3rd inning.
First pitch to Houston finds the zone. 2 different players, my apologies for that. Houston Russell, the batter. '79 at-bats on the year. 23rd start in conference play. A .364 average, .441 on base, and .896 OPS. Went on 11-game hitting streak earlier this season. He's been one of the more consistent players for the Larks, and defensively is a solid arm that Purdue University picked up. Next pitch misses up high. All evened up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. .29 hits on the year. Let's see if number 30 comes in this at bat. This jam shot in right field, number 30. Houston Russell with a base hit in the right field. 30 base hits on the year for the catcher. And a 1-out single for the Larks. So that'll bring up Will Carpenter.
The second baseman, number 25, Will Carpenter.
Will Carpenter has quietly had a great season this year. I mean, at first I thought he was coming in and out of the lineup, and then I looked at it. He's had 24 conference starts this year. It's after tonight 25, which is about the average, and he's just had such a solid year.
Yeah, he's been one of the top guys at putting up runs this season with 20, and has also been able to get on base with a on-base percentage of .478 this year.
Next pitch to Will Carpenter, misses inside. Carpenter had the count 3-0. Plays at Ohio State and will be returning next season. Was a redshirted junior last year. Will be returning to Ohio State. Count is actually 2-0, correction. This umpire was getting our attention up in the press box. Thank you to Doug Clark as Carpenter gets a base in right field. Back-to-back base knocks over to the right side. Houston Russell and Will Carpenter are all getting on base here in the 7th. Here comes the money. Trenton Baker here with 2 runners on base and 1 out.
Baker's gotten on base 2 times tonight, had that RBI triple in the 3rd inning where he would eventually score, and got on a third baseman fielder's choice in the 5th inning.
First pitch to Trent Baker misses outside. Tonight's post-game interview will more than likely be Caleb Duncan and head coach Frank Leo. having talked with Caleb on the field after the game, so we'll get one last interview with the player, and then we'll get the thoughts from Frank Leo before heading in to the NBC World Series tournament. So next pitch to Trent Baker misses outside, 2 balls and no strikes. An RBI triple for him back in the third. Chance to get an RBI here. Another base hit to the right side. Lewin waving home C.J. Reed, who came in a pinch run for Houston Russell, and that's an RBI single for Trent Baker. Trent is getting hot at the right time as the Larks now lead it 8-3. And they have really started to close this door.
And yeah, like you said, it's just been really impressive to see what Trent Baker's been able to do for these last few games, especially looking back to the Denver series and now seeing tonight where he's gotten on base 3 times and has driven in 2 runs tonight.
And that will bring out the head coach in Dakota Young as he'll talk things over with the pitcher and Garrett Odie. And with that, we'll take a short break here on the Larks Network. Runners are at first and second. RBI single from Trent Baker, his second RBI on the day. So Larks now lead it 8-3. Thomas Lissy, the batter. Garrett Odie stays in the ball game. The next pitch finds the zone here to Thomas. Extended his hit streak to 5 games in a row, on base streak to 8 games in a row. Back in his second at bat on the day. 2 doubles on the day for Thomas Lissy, with 10 doubles on the year after those 2, as next pitch found out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here to the Platinum Glove Award winner in Thomas Lissy. Also won a Silver Slugger Award. On the move to third base is Carpenter. No throw down. A double steal attempt works for the Larks. 2 runners in scoring position now. Still only 1 out, 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Thomas Lissy. Ball in play will score a run. The Athletics will go to first with it and look back the runner on a ground ball.
It was good timing there by the Larks to make the steals. The pitch went a little wide and threw the catcher, Tyler McAvoy, off his balance.
2-2 misses up high. Full count pitch with 1 away to Thomas Lissy. It's this one to the left side of the field. Left fielder trying to run in for it. It's going to get down. Base hit Thomas. Let's see, the throw to home is not going to be in time. The throw gets past the catcher. Baker gets up after falling down. The throw to the catcher, not in time. The Larks have hit double digits. And the ball popped out of the catcher's glove, but Trent Baker scores an RBI single for Lissy that stretches it to 2 bases. And then coming around to score is Will Carper and then Trent Baker after the throwing error from left field. The Larks are hungry for a RMBL title. 9-0 batter Tabor Stokes to bat now. You're with 1 out. As Thomas Lissy takes over at second after that RBI single that actually brought home 2 runs, but just the 1 RBI after the throwing error. Right side of the field wide open for Tabor Stokes, the right-handed batter. See if he tries to go opposite field with it. Breaking ball falls into the zone for the first strike. Ground ball hits the third baseman. Backhanded play made by Murphy. The throw to first is in time, as Lissy will take over at third base. 2 outs now here in the 7th. And back to the top of the order for the Larks in Caden Ashton.
Top of the batting order for the Larks, the center fielder, number 8, Caden Ashton.
As Dakota Young will head back to the mound to talk with Garrett Odie. And more than likely, this could mean a pitching change. So with that, we will take a break here on the Larks Network. Caden Ashton back to the batter's box for his 5th time today, facing off against the new pitcher for the Dodge A's and Carson Johnson. First pitch swung on and fouled off by Ashton. Johnson, the left-handed pitcher, listed as an infielder on the program from the College of UT Permain-Bassin. Junior year for him. Caden Ashton's 5th plate appearance on the day. This could potentially be, actually it will probably more than likely be his 99th at-bat on the season. As this ball will get past the catcher, and coming home to score is Thomas Lissy. Larks now lead it by 8. And now they're possibly knocking on the door of run ruling the A's. They just need 2 more runs. There are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Lefty versus lefty matchup. And Johnson versus Ashton. Nobody on base now. 2 away as Lissy came around to score on the pass ball. One. Catches the outside part of the plate. Ashton now down 1-2. Ashton looking to protect. Chokes up a bit. Slapped out of play. Staying alive is Caden. Played at Northeastern Oklahoma A&M his last 2 years and will be transferring to a D1 program in the Kansas University, the Jayhawks, down in Lawrence, Kansas. Ironically, there was a guy from Ellis, Kansas, just a town 15 minutes away from Hayes, that went to KU and then got drafted out of KU into the MLB draft this year. This one misses outside. Even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. This will be the 36th game on the year for the Larks in overall play. Their 28th conference game of the season. Johnson finds the pitch, comes set, takes a deep breath, and fires in the 2-2 to Ashton, which misses into the right-hander's batter's box. Full count pitch coming up. Bottom 7th, nobody on, 2 away. Larks lead it by 8, tacked on 4 runs here in the bottom of the 7th. Scored in every inning so far besides the 5th inning. The bats came up, or have come up big today. Full count pitch finds the outside edge of the plate, strike 3. As that out will end the 7th, the Larks tack on 4 runs. As we head to the top of the 8th, the Larks lead this one by 8. There's your upcoming schedule for this year's NBC World Series. Pool play starts Friday for the Larks against the Air Capital Flyers. They'll play Sunday at 12 o'clock. Ironically, or not ironically, but Sunday's game is the baseball pitch clock day. So they have games starting at 3 a.m., second game at 6 a.m., another game at 9 a.m., and then the Larks who play at 12. Thank goodness they got 12 o'clock at least, because 3, 6, and 9 do not sound fun. But ironically, I asked some of the guys about it, and they said they kind of wish they played at 3 or 6 a.m. They said it'd be a fun experience, but they'll have a noon o'clock start time on Sunday, and then they'll get some rest and play Tuesday against the Lone Star Baseball. That is all the pool games scheduled for the NBC start to the World Series. Third pitch misses inside. 3 balls and no strikes. 3-0 misses inside, ball 4. Lead-off walk for the Athletics as Nate Murphy will head down to first. Wilson, who came into the 6th inning, the farthest athletic to reach base is second base so far, but a leadoff runner will help the A's trying to battle back in this one. So I'll bring up the cleanup batter, Isaiah Velasico. Murphy over at first now. First pitch takes a big secondary lead. Finds the outside corner against Velasico. Second pitch hit out of play over on the left side. Wilson ahead in the count, 0-2. Runner on first. The 0-2 just misses outside. Not a bad spot to miss. 1-2 count now. Three, 4, and 5 are all due up here for the Athletics. The third batter in the lineup was able to reach on the walk. So 1-2 misses outside. Even up now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Defensive alignment still for the Larks with Duncan out in left, Ashton in center, Espanol in right. Hot corners of Thomas Lassie at third, Garrett Grew up first, Tabor Stokes at short, and Will Carver at second base running it up the middle, and then Houston Russell still catching here in the 8th inning. There's been a few changes on the defensive side for the Athletics. Velasco bounds back to the count. Full count pitch, half-hearted swing, he went around. Strike 3. Wilson, first strikeout on the day, his 35th on the year. One away now here in the top of the 8th. So I'll bring up Tyler McAvoy, who they've still not gotten out yet today.
Yeah, he's reached second base all 3 times where he's gotten 2 doubles and a single, which has resulted in a total of 3 RBIs on the night.
First pitch misses inside. Take a look back at Nolan Wilson's games. Pitch July 17th against the Liberal BJs on the road. 6 innings of work, only gave up 4 earned runs, 1 walk, struck out 7 BJ batters. He was our Performance of the Year award winner for his outing back on June 23rd against the Game Day Angels here at Larks Park, where he went 6 innings of work, struck out 11 Angel batters, only giving up 2 earned runs and allowing 3 hits, no walks. As this one's be popped up over to the right side. Garrett Gould running over near the fence. It's just going to sneak out of play, though. First strike of the at-bat, 2 balls and 1 strike. Nolan Wilson had a great argument to really be the Cy Young Award winner this year.
Yeah, we'll take a look back at his season stats. Was a starter for 5 games this year, as this will be his first league game of the year where he comes in as a relief. Only allowed 25 hits and 15 runs, and recorded a team-high 34 strikeouts on the year coming into this game.
Yeah, had a great argument to win the Cy Young. He finished second in the voting. Dalton Campbell, our Cy Young Award winner for this year for the Hayes Larks. I mean, Campbell has just been the guy. Last 3 outings, all 3 outings were must-win games, and he won them. I mean, outstanding stuff from Dalton Campbell this season. It's been an electric pitcher. Time is called. Wilson was already about to throw. I've seen this a lot on the major league level. I mean, when an umpire calls time, the coaches tell you to just finish throwing the ball if you're already in your windup, because, I mean, it messes up your arm a bit if you were to just kind of loft it or stop throwing. Wilson just kind of threw it last second, so should be all right. So 2-2 misses down in the turf. Full count pitch coming up here to Tyler McAvoy. Wilson from the stretch misses outside, ball 4. Athletics have worked out 2 walks here in the 8th inning. So I'll put runners at first and second. Wilson's got a good lead to work with. So not too much worry as they'll face off against C.D. Sharple as a first baseman. Second time today against Nolan Wilson. Houston Russell heading out to the mound to talk things over. Keith Harper, who was over by the bullpen, he's walking back to dugout. It looks like he's going to head out to the mound for a mound visit. So we'll take a short break here on the Larks Network. Larks lead it 11-3. First pitch fouled backwards. Nolan Wilson stays in the ballgame. C.D. Sharples still the batter. 0-1 count now here against Nolan Wilson. Righty versus lefty matchup. Runners are at first and second after 2 walks here in the 8th. Murphy over at second and McAvoy over at first. The 0-1 runs inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. For Nolan Wilson, there was a time during the season where he had gone 14 innings pitched without giving up a walk. Outstanding side line drive right back to Wilson, and he's going to run it back and flip it to first. A double play. Nolan Wilson line drive, shot bent over, made the catch, and underhand toss to first. As we head to the bottom of the 8th, Larks look to get some insurance runs as they lead it 11-3. Caleb Duncan to lead things off for the Larks. 2, 3, and 4 due up here in the bottom of the 8th. 2 runs could win it for the Larks here in this half inning. Carson Johnson back to the mound for the Athletics. The first pitch misses the zone here to Caleb Duncan. A great day for Caleb. 3 base hits, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, a stolen base on top of it, had a triple in one of those 3 hits. An outstanding day for his last time here at Larks Park. I mean, all these guys have just kind of realized that it's their last time playing at Larks Park. It's a fly ball hit out to right field into the right fielder's glove, and Matthew Rivers for the first out.
Here's the deal, Larks fans. All remaining beer, $1. $1 beer, the remainder.
And wow, we just got word that for the rest of the ball game, $1 beer down at the Larks Nest. That's a great way to end the year for Larks fans. $1 beer. Have a good time. Stick around after the game. Hang out with everyone. Hang out with the players. Meet the players. Get autographs. Take pictures. All that fun stuff. It's Wilbert Espanol now to bat here with 1 away and nobody on. First pitch to Espanol finds the outside corner, went to the breaking ball. Just fell in last second. Espanol, the only batter this year to have 100 at-bats or more in the season. Ashton's close. He's at 99 right now. Other than that, those are the only 2 90s that are on, or there's one more 90 to Tabor Stokes at 93. But other than that, nobody really close other than Caden Ashton with 99. He'd have to come up to bat before the Larks would score 2 runs. So this could potentially be the last at-bats here at Larks Park for Wilbert Espanol. And all the Larks to follow after. The 0-2 from Johnson Espanol misses outside. First ball of the at-bat. The 1-2 misses outside. Espanol, who was down 0-2, now works the count to even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. His 40th hit on the year was that 2-run shot back in the 4th inning. It's his 2nd home run on the year for the Larks, and RBIs number 23 and 24. 2-2 up high. Espanol down 0-2, works the count to full.
And it's the 2nd time tonight he's been faced with a full count, and that was back in the 4th inning where he had the home run.
That was with 2 outs, too. That was a pretty electric at-bat for Wilbert Espanol. Gives you a lot of quality at-bats, and he gets us another one here today. The full count, fouled out of play. Espanol is staying alive. Played for Murray State Community College for 2 years and will be transferring to Alabama State this upcoming season at the college level. Johnson looks in, finds the sign, comes set, fires away to Espanol. Called strike 3, breaking ball finds the outside corner. Has 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 8th. Two away for Garrett Gruel now. And this could be Gruel's last at-bat ever as a Lark. I mean, we've seen seniors come back and play, but they usually don't. We saw Brady Evans come back this year, and then he left after an injury. But this could potentially be Garrett Gruel's last at-bat as a Lark here at Larks Park. Let's see if he can make it a good one. First pitch to Gruel will find the inside corner. He's put the ball in play in 3 of his 4 at-bats today. Alternated as the DH and first baseman throughout the season, appeared out in left field in a few games, but was mainly the DH and first baseman off and on. And this year's most valuable player, as this next pitch fouled out of play into the parking lot of doom. 0-2 count here to Garrett Gruel. Two away, nobody on. First two Larks got out. Larks looking for some more two-out magic. The 0-2 popped up just over the grandstands and over the press box. Gruhl staying alive. Another guy transferring with the Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and will now be transferring to UTSA, a D1 school down in Texas.
And it'll be interesting to see what he brings for the Roadrunners, especially because they're still in a new conference as we're in this realignment era of college athletics as UTSA made the jump from Conference USA to the American Athletic.
There's been a lot of changes. I mean, the one I most notably know is the Big 12. I mean, you saw, I believe, Texas and Oklahoma were the two to leave the Big 12. And yeah, there's been a lot of changes. So Gruhl will get to face off against some new competition that UTSA might not have seen before. The 1-2 to Gruhl runs inside. All even up now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Defense playing back here with 2 outs. The 2-2 count to Garrett Gruhl. Johnson taking his time, finally figures it out and throws this one. Gruhl pops this one up, another one out of play. Gruhl putting up a heck of an at-bat and potentially his last at-bat as a Hayes Lark. He's been a part of the program for a long time. 3rd year with the Larks. They honored him with a 3rd-year plaque, I believe, in Saturday's game. A bit of a ceremony to honor him on top of host family night here at the ballpark. He's been the captain for the Larks this year and a great captain. So the Larks players just love him. The 2-2, once again, the Gruhl to the left side. Third baseman Murphy fields it cleanly. And on to first, a 1-2-3 for Johnson here in the 8th. We head to the 9th inning. Larks need 3 outs to win it and win the Rocky Mountain Baseball League title. 3 outs to go here in the Larks 2024 regular season. Garrett Hicks will come out of the bullpen to face off against the Athletics here in the top of the 9th.
Now batting number 29. Preston Sensor.
Pinch hitter and Preston Sensor to bat here in the top of the 9th. 7, 8, and 9 due up for the A's. This one swung on a miss. 0-2 count. Hicks looks to start the 9th inning off right for the Larks. The 0-2 swung on a miss. 2 outs away from the Larks being crowned the RMBL champions. Hicks, who's had a heck of a season for the Larks as well. Another guy who's just done amazing. Not a save opportunity, but has 2 saves on the year, 15 and 3rd innings pitched, an ERA of 1.17. His 7th appearance on the mound. Has now struck out 16 batters through 15 and 2/3. First pitch finds it at the knees. Here it's a Bo Dalian. Swung on and miss. Another 0-2 count. This time with 1 out to Bo Dalian. The 0-2 from Hicks. Finds it at the knees. Back-to-back Ks for Garrett Hicks here in the 9th. 6 pitches, 2 strikeouts for Garrett Hicks, and the Larks are 1 out away from winning it all. And by it all, I mean the conference, that is, not the whole dang thing, but winning the conference championship. First pitch here, the 9-0 bound Zach Moore finds the zone. Garrett Hicks will be going to Arizona University next year. This one swung on and fouled off. Once again, 0-2 count. Here in the top of the 9th, Houston Russell says, "Get up on your feet as we will." 1 strike, 1 out away from the Larks, winning the Rocky Mountain Baseball League Conference Championship. The 0-2, fly ball out to left field. Duncan runs in, makes the catch. The Larks have won the title. The Rocky Mountain Baseball League champions is back in Hayes.
And this is the Larks' 3rd RMBL title of all, ever since they've joined the league, and it's their first one since 2021. And for the Larks as a team, looking back since the year 2001, that will be their 11th all-time title. And now we'll take a look back at that game for tonight. We'll start off looking back at how the Larks were able to build up that lead, but it was not going to be easy as they were able to get 2 runs in the first 2 innings. But Dodge showed that they were going to fight as they were able to get Grant Easerman home in the first inning. And after they went 3 up, 3 down in the second inning, they were able to put up 2 runs in the 3rd inning. But Hayes started to take off later on in the game as they would go into the 7th inning. So we'll highlight that for a second, looking back at that inning where it was led off or started off by Houston Russell with a single on a 2-2 count. And actually the Larks would get 4 straight singles in that inning, resulting in a total of 4 runs, which really helped them grow their lead throughout the rest of the game. And now we'll focus on our pitching for tonight's game, and that was one of the highlights for the Larks as Dalton Campbell started it off red hot. 5 innings pitched, only allowing 5 hits and 3 runs, but we was able to record 5 strikeouts on 78 pitches, and Nolan Wilson would come in for the next 3 innings as a relief, only giving up 2 hits and never allowed a run as the Larks pitching did for the rest of the game, as he also recorded a strikeout on 47 pitches. And then Garrett Hicks came in for the final inning, just like we've seen him do a couple times this year, as he's recorded 2 saves on the year. This one was not a save opportunity, but it just took him 9 pitches to retire the side as he records 2 strikeouts. I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever seen that happen before with 9 pitches and all being strikes as the Larks get the win. And we'll go down to the field now with Nick Helget as he will interview Caleb Duncan. Big game from him with 3 hits and 2 RBIs as well as 2 runs. and the coach of the Hayes Larks, Frank Leo.
And he's got a couple of stars with him tonight. Nick, it is yours.
Larks fan, let's hear it. Your 2024 Rocky Mountain Baseball League champions, your Hayes Larks. Awesome. Caleb? Caleb, 3-hit performance, 2 RBIs, a triple for you tonight. Was there any pressure coming in tonight's game?
No, not at all. We know we have a great fan base and we have great players behind us. We try to go in and do what we can, so came out with the W tonight.
Awesome. And you guys will be playing down at Wichita State X Stadium. That's what you'll be playing next year. How does it feel to be able to go play down there this early?
I mean, it really just feels like another ball game. We're playing for the Hayes Larks, so that's my first priority, and looking forward to get a dub.
Awesome. Thank you, Caleb. Frank, another year you put together an outstanding ball club. What makes this team so special?
Well, we preach from day one, you got to become brothers, you got to become a team that's going to be big when you get down to the end. That's them right there.
And this is not your first time making it to the NBC tournament. What will it take to bring a World Series championship home to Hayes?
As I tell our players, you just play the game the way it's supposed to be played. It's another game. You pitch it, you play defense, you get clutch hits, and good things can happen. And I'll tell you what, these guys earned this RMBL championship. Went down to Liberal and had to win 2 games in their backyard to give us a shot to have destiny in our own hands, and they did it.
Thank you, Frank. One more time, your 2024 Hayes Larks.
So that was Nick Helgett with our post-game player interview with Caleb Duncan and head coach of the Larks, Frank Leo. And when Nick makes his way back up here, we'll have our post-game show where we'll recap tonight's game for the final time this season. Again, the Larks win it by a final score of 11-3 and win their 3rd RMBL title, and finishing with a record of 28-8 overall in the regular season and 22-6 in RMBL play. We'll be back in a moment on the Larks Network. To all you Larks fans still watching tonight's stream, we apologize for the delay. There's some post-game festivities going on the field right now, but once that's complete, we will have our post-game show after that. So thank you all for staying with us, and we'll be back in a little bit.
The Larks pull away 11-3. The final score for the last time this season at Larks Park. The Larks win in a must-win scenario. Break this down. I mean, it's like Frank said. I mean, they had to win out, and they did it.
Yeah, and it was not going to be an easy game for sure. Just looking back at those early innings where you saw the Larks put up at least one run in each of the first 4 innings, but Dodge was always there to respond. But really what helped the Larks was that 7th inning where they put up 4 runs, each of which all those guys that scored getting on through a single. I think that was the dagger, and then you had strong pitching from Nolan Wilson and Garrett Hicks from there on out, and it got the Larks to win.
Well, I mean, when I was talking with Frank down the field, he said it best. I mean, they wins the Liberal Series, had to win, had to sweep, couldn't lose. They swept the best team other than the Larks in the state of Kansas. They did it. And then after that, they went on to win the rest of their games against the Cougars and then an A's team that seems to always battle up with the Larks. I mean, this has been a heck of a season. But, I mean, what's next? NBC World Series. I mean, what do we got on that?
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but we've seen the Larks do great things down in the World Series. I wrote it down before coming up here. I mean, in the last few years, 2022, they were able to be the runner-up, and then a top 5 finish in 2021. We've just seen them do great things there. Let me count it real fast. I apologize.
I'm pretty sure that it's not up to date, but it is the most up-to-date thing we got, so yeah.
Yeah, 17 top 5 finishes in the NBC World Series as of recent. So if the Larks can just continue to do what they've done all season, they should be able to make a deep run once again.
This team is very well solid. When we were down on the field, I mean, the emotions for a summer ball team, it got me emotional. I kind of am on edge right now. But I went down, and everyone is teary-eyed. They're all hugging each other. This team really bonded, and it goes to show you what Hayes, Kansas, and what the Larks do to these young men. They bring them together. They create something so special for summer ball teams. Some of these guys play at colleges where they don't have fans. And then you come to Larks Park, and there's this love in the atmosphere. The fans got your back, and your coach got your back. I mean, Larks fans, Larks history, program, everything is just something special.
Yeah, I mean, just throughout this season and throughout history, we've just seen the Larks be a successful team with a great fan base that's always there to support them, and they're just able to give them what they want, and it makes everybody happy.
It does make everyone happy. And with that, this is our final post game of the year. Would you like to say anything to the Larks fans out there?
I mean, what else can you say? I mean, it was a fun year. I mean, we had walk-offs, we had run rules, we had strong performances in the top half of each inning and the bottom half of each inning. It was just fun to watch, and I'll say it was a pleasure sharing the booth with you this year.
It was a pleasure to share a booth with you as well. And I'd like to thank, and I'll let you thank him too, I would like to thank everyone in the Larks organization this year, to the fans that gave us encouraging words, feedback, all the people that tuned in this year. I would like to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. This was something we really wanted to do this year, and we wanted to really strike on marketing the players, making sure people knew about them, and getting their name out there. And I feel like we took a good step forward this year, and I'm very happy to say I was part of this Larks team.
Yeah, I'll say the same thing. I was proud to be a part of it. Thank you to the Larks organization for allowing us to do it, and it was a fun season. I'll just leave it there.
Well said. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, the Larks 2024 regular season has come to an end. You can tune into the NBC World Series on the YouTube page. If you go to the home website and go down to the bottom, there should be a link there for you to watch it. But that's the end of the ride for both Hank and I. And I want to thank you guys so much once again for an amazing 2024 Larks season as they come away with the Rocky Mountain Baseball League title. To Wichita we go. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.